Hey, it's Noctis. Subscribe to Vincent Valentine EX Turk channel.
This video for a long time. It's about Dissida arcade. So, hello guys, this is your King of the Night. Hello Archfiends of Chaos, this is your King of the Night, Vincent Valentine EX Turk, and we're gonna get ready to talk about Dissida arcade, since that's been pushed back, because most of my topics, not just my topics in general, but the Final Fantasy community topics are nothing but Final Fantasy 15 and the Final Fantasy 7 remake, and an occasional jump to Kingdom Hearts 3, or occasional jump to Mobius. So Dissida arcade's been pushed back just a little bit, and I love RPGs and fighting games, so I'm going to try to cover more of Dissida arcade on my channel, because I did a lot of Final Fantasy 15 and 7. I mean, you could just go look at my playlists and watch watch those playlists. So I don't know if I got this on rewind, so oh, I do. Good. Okay. So I'm using my iPad because for some reason my Apple TV didn't work. Now let's get started on the actual video. What characters should Dissida arcade be? Dissida arcade have on their extra roster? You know how Dual Decim have their extra roster? Like they had Laguna, Tifa, you know, and stuff like Yuna. These are going to be added extra after these characters, of course. So, let's start with number 1, Vincent Valentine. Now, I know, but Vincent, there's already 2 Final Fantasy 7 characters. You got Tifa, Sephiroth, and Cloud. Well, hear me out. Hear me out. They can add 1 extra character in arcade, because arcade's going to be much massive and much bigger. And know that Vincent Valentine's style of fighting could be the same as Laguna's, as long as you animate things differently. Like when Vincent shoots his gun and stuff like that, or, you know, when you remember when Laguna shoots the thing into the satellite? Well, Vincent could just use fire materia and use flames to go around you. But, you know, the rest of the moveset will be like Laguna's. Like, you can use a bunch of machine gun things off the Cerberus gun. Not to mention, Vincent Valentine's also a brawler, too. So, you got a mix of Tifa and Laguna's play style already. So, the only thing I'm going to have issue with, I'll probably choose Vincent to be my ranked character and my tournament character, so I'll have to completely relearn a character. That's the only thing I have grief with this, is I have to completely relearn a different character, because I'll probably more likely use Vincent, because Vincent's my favorite, so I'd have to learn his. But I think his would be good. Vincent's will be good on tournament style, you know. As for the tournament style, he'd be perfect because he'd be a balance of Tifa and Laguna. So you get your long range and your close range brawler. And then since Chaos doesn't exist in arcade, it's, you know, you could just do EX Core turn to Chaos and use, well, they'd change the name to Devil Slam, since they can't really use the old name that one attack he used in Chaos form. They couldn't use it in the new game because it's, well, very controversial. I'm surprised they even made it in the final game. But I understand why they did that, because Chaos is pretty much darkness and destruction. So I understand why they gave him his final attack, which I think that would be his final attack. Or they might give him the death penalty, you know, beam like he used against on Vice. And not only that, you can actually have 3 costumes on Vincent. You can have the traditional Dissida one that they give Vincent, but also the original Final Fantasy 7. It'll be DLC for the Dirge of Cerberus one, obviously. And the 3rd costume will be the Turk costume, where he's dressed up in a suit and has a shorter haircut. Which will still have the moveset, because, well, still, it's the same character. Even though it's human Vincent, it'll still be the same character. Now, I don't know, maybe you could give each costume their own EX Core thing. Like the Dissida will turn to Chaos form. The Final Fantasy 7 one will turn into Hellmaster, and then the Turk one will turn into Galleon Beast, and the Dissida DLC of Dirge of Cerberus will turn into Death Gygus, which would make more sense to it, I think. Plus he'd be good on the story mode. I think he'd probably help Cloud defeat Sephiroth once and for all. You know, so I think he would be a perfect character on the fact that he's balanced. He's good in any story. Now, I understand why they couldn't put Kingdom Hearts story in there, because him in Kingdom Hearts, because his story is far too dark and gritty. His story is just as equal as Versus 13's dark story. If you play Dirge of Cerberus, you know, even for a T-rated game, it was pretty dark. So, but Dissida, they don't really have to worry about that, because it's just straight up fighting and dialogue anyways. It's kind of like Injustice pretty much, but with its own playstyle. But nonetheless, Vincent Valentine, it should be on Dissida Arcade's extra roster list. Number 2, should I just even put this on here? I mean, let's be quite honest. Most of us already want this anyways. Noctis Lucius Kylium. That even shouldn't be on the extra roster list. You know, that should be on the original roster list, since, you know, 15's out. This will promote 15, and this will promote Dissida Arcade. You know, a lot. It make it better for localization, because people like Final Fantasy 15. Even Westerners on here, even the ones who complain about Chapter 13, still like the game. You know, come on, Noctis, man. But you know, that's gonna be on the regular roster, so I'm not even gonna worry about. So we're gonna sub that one out, because that one's gonna be the main character things we want. The extra character I would want is Ravis Nox Foray as the villain for Final Fantasy 15. I like Arden, but I kind of agree it'd be the same fighting style if you chose Arden. And Ideolus Aldercap, we don't know very much about him. I don't even know if he's even considered a villain at this point. I mean, he kind of is if you watch King's Glaive, but it's like, they don't do anything with him in the game. They really don't do nothing with him in the game except you see one cutscene, go kill Ludafreya. Cutscene over. Let's see, you go past, you go to Chapter 13, he's already transformed into demon form and you have to fight him there. They didn't do very much with Ideolus, but Ravis would be perfect. Because, and all that, Dissida worries more about cooler looking villains than actual villains. Because if you notice, Zemus is not the villain on the Final Fantasy IV roster. Golbez is the villain in the Final Fantasy IV roster. Even though Golbez is not really a villain, he was just controlled by the spirit of hatred called Zemus. You know. But they only focus on cool villains, so Ravis looks kind of cooler than Arden. I just gotta put it out there. And he'd be perfect too, because then you'll see the struggle that Ravis had on the inside to do what's good. Just like Final Fantasy 15, he'll end up turning on Spiritus, and Spiritus will get mad, and him and Spiritus will get into a brawl, and Spiritus will end up defeating him, just like Arden did in the store. But also his gameplay would be pretty good. They could actually program new movesets that we're not seeing in Final Fantasy 15. You know, or they could wait until, you know, Chapter Ravis comes out. But either way, Ravis Nox Foray should be in the Dissida Arcade. So, another one. Final Fantasy 13. I think Fang. Oh, but what about Snow, Vincent? What about Snow? Yeah, but let's be quite honest. Let's increase at least the female roster as much as the male roster. I'm sorry, but, you know, even though there were females in Dissidia 1 and Dissidia 2, which is Duodecim, let's be quite honest, both games kind of were a sausage fest. Just a tad bit. You know, so, you know. And plus, Fang isn't just any kind of normal female. She's actually has the power of high wings. She's a Dragoon race. Even though she's not a high wing by namesake, she has the same abilities as a high wing. And you know what? That'd be good. You know what? She'd be good use if you put her with Kain. It should be good use if you put her with Kain. If you put her with Kain, you can pretty much do Dragoon race abilities and probably put another support, probably put a healing support in there, you know. And I think Fang's EX core limit break should be is that she has the ability to she has the ability to summon Bahamut and use Bahamut weapons just like lightning. Plus, she's strong. She's a powerful character. As if you see in Lightning's Return, you got to see her true power when you had to face that one boss to get the Holy Clevis. I mean, I like Snow, but then it can be turned to a sausage fest. So we need to add some females, you know, to make females want to play Dissidia and rank and go compete in real life tournaments. I mean, I know this will also make females go to Evo, you know, a lot more. If the City Arcade becomes an Evo e-sport, you know, this will make females into fighting games again, because you put more females. I mean, let's be honest, that's another reason why Tekken sells really good, because it's a mix. It's a mix. It's a real good mix. So let me go ahead and change the song, because this one should give you a hint for what I want in the this will give you a hint for what I want as the final character in yes, you know this theme well. The final character I want into the Dissidia's roster, into Dissidia's extra roster, Beatrix. Yes, another awesome female character. And before you say, "Oh, you're pandering, Vince, you're pandering," not really. There's a good reason why Beatrix should be on there as an extra character. They already got Zidane. I mean, arguably could put Vivi or Steiner, but it won't have the same effect because they're not as iconic as Zidane, Kuja, and Beatrix. You put 3 of the most iconic Final Fantasy IX characters. Now, due to her gameplay in Final Fantasy IX, she kind of had the same moveset as Cloud. As you can see, she has some of the abilities that Cloud has. As you can see when I made that video, that Beatrix could possibly be an incarnation of Cloud in the Final Fantasy IX universe. You know, she'd have the moveset like Cloud has. Except she won't be able to summon meteors or anything like that, but she'll be able to use Himazard, Braver, and all these other attacks that Cloud use. Which would be perfect. You could actually just throw her in a party with Cloud, you know, Cloud and Sephiroth, and then make it work really well. Or just throw her in a party with Cloud, Squall, and it'd work really good. So it would really work good in the roster. Plus, she's a badass. I mean, like Beatrix. Beatrix was, you know, I mean, the only 2 favorite characters I have in Final Fantasy IX were Kuja and Beatrix. You know, Beatrix is a badass. I mean, you know, or better yet, mix it up. You know, maybe have her a team with Ravis and Lightning. You know, sky's the limit. Or have Vincent, Ravis, and Beatrix. Either way, she'd be good in any party. She'd be really good. In fact, they could even make her. They could make her the catalyst that could defeat any players that play Shitaro, because you know how hard of a boss Beatrix is the game for how many times you had to face her. It would make sense for her to get a spot on the Dissidia list, and she's very popular and iconic. You know, out of Final Fantasy IX cosplays, I only see Beatrix at Play at Comic Con all the time, because Beatrix is iconic. Kuja, Beatrix is iconic. You could put the same thing if you put Steiner or Amarat into the City Arcade. I think putting Beatrix, since she's popular, you know, she's like Vincent Valentine, you know. Like Vincent Valentine popularity, where you can't exclude Vincent Valentine. Well, you can't exclude Beatrix. It'd be a crime against humanity. And if you do that, well, then I'm going to be pretty pissed, Square Enix. And you already on thin ice for Chapter 13 in Final Fantasy 15, you know. And for removing the compilation of the Final Fantasy 7 into the remake. But nonetheless, this is what I'd like for extra characters in the roster. May the crystal be with you. And have a nice day. Comment on what list of characters you would like to be seen in the City Arcade.
Ay, I like bitch, who is your mess? Ay, can't keep my dick in my pants. Ay, my bitch don't love me no more. Ay, she kick me out on life, bro.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Hey. Yeah.